This is CBC Here and Now.
A $14 billion monster, massive amounts of concrete and steel. But is it any match for Mother Nature? I'm Terry Roberts, and I'll bring you the latest on efforts to tow Hebron to the Grand Banks.
Finally, the mayor says help is on the way to get rid of this rotting whale.
Hockey talks, St. John's may have a Quebec Major Junior team by 2018.
We might be able to attract somebody to come here, certainly not for this season, that's out, but certainly for 2018.
Preparing for the inevitable, this man wrote his own obituary.
I have left behind my loyal and precious wife, Kelly.
Well, happy Friday to you. Hope you soaked up the sunshine today because the cloud is coming along with some showers. Your weekend weather details are coming up.
Well, to tow or not to tow, that's the big question tonight.
It is indeed. The Hebron oil platform has been ready to sail for nearly a month, but there's a big white problem in the way.
Yeah, here now is Terry Roberts is live tonight in Sunnyside. Terry, you got a beautiful location, but what's the latest on the beautiful weather?
Yes, Peter, viewers, check out this visual behind me. 8 very powerful tow vessels, all connected to 750,000 tons of concrete and steel. But Hebron is not going anywhere, at least not today. We scrambled to get here this morning. ExxonMobil telling us today just might be the day. Tow lines tightened, a barge removed, some anchor chains let go. But just after 2 o'clock, word came. Bull Arm will be home to Hebron for at least another day. As the waiting continues, the costs continue to rise. Mother Nature demonstrating her power. Tennis court-sized chunks of sea ice. Some saying they've never seen ice conditions like this so late in the spring. When it does happen, I'm told it will take 11 days to tow Hebron to the oil field, 350 kilometers southeast of St. John's. ExxonMobil has repeatedly said they remain on track for first oil later this year and confirmed just minutes ago that despite this delay, the target is still doable. Now, Hebron's departure will mean big things for right here in Sunnyside. A lot of things happened here. There were jobs, massive amounts of development, 60 new homes, hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants from ExxonMobil given to the town of Sunnyside, more than $1 million in the bank for a legacy fund. But there's mixed feelings as this all unfolds. Here's Sunnyside Mayor Robert Snook.
Some people will probably be glad to see it go because, you know, give them back their harbour so they can come and go as they like in their boats and they can fish in places that they can't fish right now. So, you know, this sort of thing. We also, for instance, we even hear the announcements they make on the system. Like, I was here last night and they were making announcements out on the rig about whatever it was. I mean, but we could hear the announcements and we can hear the clanging. So, you know, we know it's there and we see it every day and every night. The lights are lit up and, well, I guess the lights are soon going to be turned out.
Yeah, that's right. So, but once Hebron is in place, it will begin producing about up to 150,000 barrels of oil every day for up to 30 years. Now, it will create, get this, 500 direct, long-term, high-wage jobs, and that's just what we need right now in this economic climate we're facing in Newfoundland. And it's also going to bring in billions in revenue over those 3 decades. But first, this platform has to reach the oil field. And when that will be, right now, that's anyone's guess. Peter?
Thanks, Terry. A traffic headache is about to hit the downtown area of St. John's. A section of Military Road from Bonaventure Avenue to Rollins Cross will be shut down starting Monday at 9 a.m. and that shutdown will last 6 weeks. The city is upgrading the road, curb, gutter, and sidewalk in the area. There will be a detour in place with flag people to help guide traffic. The closure also affects Metrobus routes.
It's been almost 2 weeks since this dead whale washed ashore at Outer Cove. Mayor John Kennedy has been calling for help to deal with the rotting beast. Today he said he was prepared to call a state of emergency unless something was done. Peggy Lamb has our report.
The whale's been here in Outer Cove for 2 weeks now, and it's quite the attraction, but it's really not that attractive. It's doing what dead whales do best. It's starting to rot. So doing this, is not a good idea. Or this, that's not good either. The mayor's fed up. This morning he sent a letter to Premier Dwight Ball and MP Nick Whalen. He wants them to push DFO for help.
If we don't have this animal out of here in a timely manner, we have a council meeting on Monday night. I'm going to declare a state of emergency and close Otter Cove Beach because I can't take a chance on someone getting sick based on the amount of bacteria that's coming out of this animal.
The possible health risks of the whale had the mayor worried.
This is a decomposing corpse. There's roughly 10 tons of rotting material there. It's full of different types of pathogens, bacteria.
But just late today, Kennedy got news from DFO. The department is promising to clean up the whale early next week. That's enough for the mayor to hold off calling a state of emergency. But he still advises the public to stay away from the water. Peggy Lamb, CBC News, Outer Cove.
Well, these three protesters were in front of Her Majesty's Penitentiary today protesting the incarceration of a Labrador Inuk woman. Beatrice Hunter refused to stay away from the Muskrat Falls site, so a judge ordered the protester be kept in jail until her case is heard. She's accused of violating a court order to keep protesters off the construction site. Hunter was transferred to HMP in St. John's, which is normally just for men, but the jail for women in Clarenville is at capacity.
There was no violent crimes committed or anything like that. They have her inside here in a men's prison that's overpopulated and is in disgusting conditions. And she's in there with murderers and rapists and drug abusers. She's an Inuit grandmother, a kind and gentle person. Like, she's not at risk to hurt anybody.
Well, lawyers for a man who's on trial for having a child sex doll say his rights are being violated. Kenneth Harrison is facing child porn and other charges. His lawyers have applied to the court to have those charges stayed. Here now's Glenn Payette explains why.
It's been more than 4 years since this box containing a child sex doll was delivered to Kenneth Harrison's home in St. John's. It's been described as an anatomically correct prepubescent female doll with accessories that could be used for sexual gratification. Now Harrison's lawyers say his charges for importing the doll and having it should go away because his rights have been violated. Among other things, they say a section of the criminal code dealing with child pornography violates Harrison's right to life, liberty, and security of the person. They say the section of the code is so broad that it interferes with Harrison's personal autonomy as well as the physical and psychological integrity of pedophiles. They also say that the section violates his rights because if he were to be found guilty, he would be subjected to cruel and unusual treatment or punishment. That's because if found guilty, Harrison could get anywhere from 6 months to 2 years less a day in prison. His lawyers say the sentence would be grossly disproportionate to what would be appropriate in this case. Because the application hasn't been heard in court yet, Harrison's lawyers, Bob Buckingham and Brittany Whalen, wouldn't do an interview to talk about it. The case is back in court in early July. Glenn Payette, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, check out these messy ditches along the Outer Ring Road in St. John's. The good news is they're finally going to be cleaned up. The province says it will shut down the entire length of the highway from Kenmount Road all the way to Donovan's Industrial Park, to Logie Bay Road on Sunday, June 11th. There's a call out for volunteers to help with crews picking up garbage. The closure will last 8 hours.
Well, the 35th annual Labrador Cup is happening in Happy Valley Goose Bay this week. The indoor soccer tournament is known for being a rough and tumble affair. Here now's Jacob Barker is in the midst of it. He's joining us now. Jacob?
Yeah, well, there's over 340 players here in town on 30 different teams, and they're all competing for this, the Labrador Cup. The tournament's going on until Sunday. We're going to have a take a look at what's happening here tonight, though.
It's fast-paced, excellent play, well organized. We love it. Our daughter's been involved with it now for about 9 years. They make a little bit of heavy contact at times. Makes it interesting.
It's more of a hockey mindset. We're in an arena. We've got 3 forwards and 2 defense. A lot of man-to-man positioning like that. In outdoor soccer, your striker never gets back, and it's your defensive core is what you rely on.
What's it like calling a game if things are getting rough out there?
Can be intense, but then you get on it quickly. If you call it quickly, they respect the referee's decisions, then they get on with the game. And you know what? All the years we've been doing this, they respect each other too. So fast and furious, but usually fast, furious, and clean.
It gets pretty rough, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're already down one player from yesterday. Poor soul got a concussion, but that's the name of the game. You just don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, if you're, a team, you play well together, the injuries will stay away.
It's really fast. You don't get too many mistakes, and it's a little rougher than normal. You're playing indoor against the boards and whatnot, so it's kind of like a little bit of hockey in there when you're grinding in the corners and whatnot.
It's the best time of the year. The common saying is it's just like Christmas. But halfway through the year again, and it's just something everybody's waiting for. You're counting down the days all year long for sure.
It's a great atmosphere. Everybody's happy and everybody just tries to do their best.
We say it's like Christmas because we don't see each other. It's like Lab Cup to Lab Cup. So when we're together, it just makes the tournament so much more exciting.
Agreed.
And so there's been 35 years of this tournament, and with camaraderie like that and with fans like these, I'm sure there's going to be a 36th year. Reporting live for Here and Now in Happy Valley Goose Bay, I'm Jacob Barker.
Well, there's renewed talk that St. John's may be getting a Quebec Major Junior hockey team soon. A well-connected and respected journalist, Stéphane Leroux, predicts that a Quebec team will be here by 2018. Here Now's Mark Quinn has our story.
This could be a lonely place for hockey fans next year. With the ice caps gone, there'll be no glorious face-offs, fights, or 50-50s here, but there is hope for 2018. There are only two ways to acquire a Quebec Major Junior team. Either you're awarded one or you buy one.
Right now, neither one of those options are available to us, but we continue to explore and with hopes that we might be able to attract somebody to come here. Certainly not for this season, that's out, but certainly for 2018.
Stanford says a Quebec team would need a good arrangement with St. John's Sports and Entertainment, and people who follow sports here closely say a new team here would probably need some help.
Travel subsidy, perhaps, yeah, I would think so. They'd need the travel picked up from Halifax to St. John's, yeah, no question.
It wasn't successful back then, but the past doesn't equal the future in my mind, and it's going to have to be marketed properly, and it's going to have to be it's going to have to be watched very carefully. I don't think it's going to be a success overnight, but I think if you put the right group of people together and make it an entertainment package for the community, I think they'll support it.
As things stand now, fans may have to turn on their TVs to get their hockey fix next year. And as for those 50-50s, they may be harder to come by. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, the next time you want to enjoy the sight of Cape Bonavista, try opening your wallet. New $10 bills are now in circulation. They feature the Rocky Cape. The special note is in honor of the Canada 150 commemoration. Also on the banknote are BC's mountain peaks, wheat from the prairies, and the Northern Shield. Well, they're not just nasty looking, they have a nasty bite. After the break, we'll hear why there's growing concern about tick bites and Lyme disease.
And later, the story of a man who knew his time in life was coming to an end, so he did his best to make sure everything was taken care of beforehand, including writing his own obituary.
This weather update is brought to you by the Take Charge Business Efficiency Program. Over 400 businesses have saved energy and taken charge of their bottom line. Find out how you can too.
Time now for the weather. As you can see, this is not Ryan Snoddon.
Nope.
Carolyn, thanks
Not
very
even
much.
close.
Thanks very much for stepping in for Ryan, and we're going to get to the weekend weather, but we have something to show you.
Yeah, well, of course, with all this nice weather, there'll probably be some people out fishing. Now, do either of you remember the excitement of catching your very first fish?
I do. I was young and it was a little bit traumatic, I gotta say, but.
Well, then you'll probably sympathize with this girl. Let's take a look at this video. So this is Avery Himes. She was out trouting with her family recently, and she caught a big one.
Oh my gosh, she's running like the Dickens. Looks like she wasn't sure what she had at the end of that line.
Oh my goodness, and she keeps going. And if you're wondering where you can catch fish this size, this is at Third Pond in the Petty Harbor Goulds area. And she caught that on Tuesday.
Oh, you're never supposed to say where your fishing spots are.
Yeah. I don't even know. I wonder if they ate it, because that's not exactly a fish that's going to feed the family tonight.
No.
Oh, that looks great. And speaking about looking great, isn't this gorgeous? This is on the west coast near Woman Cove in the Bay of Islands, a place I haven't heard of. But this eagle sure knows all about it. He was trouting too.
Yeah, no running away here. He was going after the fish and managed to catch one, and will definitely fly away with that for his supper.
Yeah,
or her supper. It may be Woman Cove, maybe it's a female bald eagle.
Heard of Man Cave, but never
Woman Cove. Yeah, no. You learn something new every day.
All right, so let's have a look at what the weekend is going to be.
Yes, please, more nice weather.
It's, yeah, hold on. Okay, here's a, I know, so sorry. It's not too bad though, it's not too bad, promise. So this is the weather on the way headlines. There's a chance of thunder showers actually from some parts of the island and for western Labrador tonight. And the Burgeo kind of area, St. Albans, there's a chance you might get some thunder showers tonight. Tomorrow, it's going to be a foggy, drizzly start for much of the island, but it will clear off a little bit, and we're expecting a cloudy afternoon for the island tomorrow. So this is how things are looking right now. So it's not too bad. You can see lots of double-digit temperatures here. 15 degrees in St. John's right now, 17 in Bay Roberts. A little bit cooler as you move closer to the Twillingate area. 2 degrees there on the west coast. Still pretty warm there as well. 16 degrees in Corner Brook. And much cooler, though, along the coast of Labrador foreshore. Just 1 degree in Hopedale right now. Sorry about that, Hopedale. And Churchill Falls, though, a nice, comfortable 14 degrees. So this is how the skies will be moving tonight. This is 6 o'clock right now, and you can see lots of cloud over the island. And this little sunny patch that we're getting here on the Avalon Peninsula is quite nice. And you can see the rain that's going to be moving in along the southern part of Labrador. So overnight tonight, we're going to expect maybe some drizzly weather. It's going to be pretty cloudy and some showers on the west coast near Corner Brook and the Avalon Peninsula and southeastern Labrador. This is how tomorrow morning is going to be looking. So we're going to start off with some fog in the morning on the Avalon Peninsula, but that's expected to clear off throughout the day. Just 6 degrees to start off your day in St. John's tomorrow. And a chance of patchy showers right across the island tomorrow morning as you start your day. This is just in the morning. This isn't the afternoon. So we're going to start the day with 7 degrees in Corner Brook there, and in Cartwright some showers, and 7 degrees with some showers in Lab City tomorrow morning. So showers are going to be moving through here throughout the day tomorrow afternoon, but you can see it's mostly cloudy skies in the east there on the island throughout the day on Saturday, but some showers will move in Saturday night. So if you're heading out Saturday night, you're going to want to grab your coat. So temperatures tomorrow, not great. chance of showers in St. John's, 12 degrees, 14 degrees in parts of the interior, Grand Falls, Windsor, 13 in Corner Brook. Lots of chances of patchy showers throughout the day, 13 degrees in Lab City, a cloudy day there tomorrow. This is how the morning's looking in St. John's, 6 degrees to start with periods of drizzle, mainly cloudy throughout the afternoon, 12 degrees as the high and 10 degrees as we move into tomorrow evening with mainly cloudy skies. And I'll have details on your long-range forecast coming up a bit later.
Thanks, Carolyn. So we've been showing you some great pictures of wildlife on the show recently, like the bald eagle tonight.
Absolutely.
And there's a photo floating around on social media of a cute little bunny.
Yeah, but what's on its face is what's not so cute. Ticks, and lots of them. Take a look. Ugh. This little guy is sitting next to a woodpile in CBS, and it's got company, a dozen or so ticks attached to its face. Ugh, it's gross.
Well, the province's chief veterinary officer says these are common rabbit ticks and not harmful. The picture has people talking about Lyme disease, which is caused by the black-legged tick.
Yeah, and while not many of those Lyme-carrying ticks have been found in this province, according to Dr. Laura Rogers, it is a different story elsewhere.
It is. In Ontario, it's a growing concern, complicated by the fact Lyme disease isn't always easy to diagnose. But now there is growing funding to get it under control. Christine Bierak reports.
Children asking Minister Phil Pott, can you please help my mother from Lyme disease?
Jennifer Kravis asked families to share their stories, hoping they'll deliver a strong message to the health minister.
We've received letters from thousands of Canadians all saying the same story, which is cases being missed, doctors not being aware of how prevalent Lyme disease is, people being refused testing, and this is happening.
Kravis says it happened to her 10 years ago.
Could no longer get up, care for my kids, couldn't work, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome.
She says she was eventually diagnosed with Lyme disease at a clinic in the United States.
We have listened.
The federal government announced today it's putting $4 million towards researching Lyme disease, boosting surveillance, best practices for testing and treatment, and public education and awareness around the bacterial infection that's carried by tiny blood-sucking ticks.
There's still much work to do in the area of diagnosis and best treatment practices, and this research will be tremendously important in enabling that.
If caught early, Lyme disease is treatable with a short course of antibiotics. Problem is, the symptoms mimic the signs of other illnesses, including the flu, arthritis, and fibromyalgia. If you wait too long to get treatment, it can lead to long-term health problems.
We need mandatory retraining of all our health professionals.
Kravis spent 2 years on antibiotics through an American doctor, but doctors say long-term antibiotic use has been tested and not shown to work.
And that's why Canadian physicians who are practicing evidence-based medicine are reluctant to provide that.
So while everyone is welcoming new money and research around Lyme disease, experts insist prevention is key. Christine Bierak, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, up next, the emotional and heartwarming story of a man who knew he only had a short time left to live, so he made the best of it by planning out all the details about his own death.
Welcome back to Here and Now. You know, most of us don't know when we're going to die. We all know it's going to happen, but when and how is a mystery many people prefer not to think about. But what happens when you know death is just around the corner? Well, next is a story about a person who was forced to stare death in the face and take on a tough task, planning his own funeral and writing his own obituary.
I can also prepare to make sure that my beautiful wife Kelly is going to be okay without me, and to lighten any burden I can from her. Writing this is one of them.
An obituary written by Morris Power about Morris Power. The 56-year-old died 2 weeks ago on May 17th. His words are difficult for his wife Kelly to read, even though she helped Morris write them during the last year of his life.
I have left behind my loyal and precious wife Kelly, and our 5 treasured dogs, Jake, Fanny, Arsenal, Happy, and Lily.
Oh, here, Jakey. Kelly says a love of animals was one of Morris's defining traits. The couple had been together over a decade, both correctional officers. Morris followed in his father's footsteps. Last year, everything changed when they were given the shocking news that Morris had an inoperable brain tumor.
Well, I thought I was just going to faint, but Morris, he sat down next to me, and his 2 knees, they shook for about 3, maybe 4 seconds. And then he stopped, and then he said, "You know what, Kelly? It's all right. I'm going to be okay." That was the worst evening of my entire life when we got Morris's diagnosis. And he took our tragedy and turned it into a triumph.
Time became acutely precious. Right away, the doctors needed a biopsy, a procedure that could affect Morris's ability to speak. So, barely 24 hours after the diagnosis, his 11-year courtship with Kelly took on a deeper meaning as they exchanged I-do's in the hospital chapel.
Actually, you know what? That was the happiest day or evening of my life, because we finally did get married, and just the way it all happened, and just to see Morris at the worst time of his life be so happy. Even the nurses there at Emerge, they had cake and champagne and everything all laid out, and flowers there in the room when we got back.
They carried on, not knowing how long the honeymoon would last.
Many things went through my mind in a short period of time, and I soon realized I had an opportunity that many are not as fortunate to have. I can get ready.
And plan for death. There was the looming funeral service to think about, decisions and duties typically carried out by grieving loved ones as an awful afterthought, and the obituary.
I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna write my own." And he said, "That'll be one less thing you're gonna have to do." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Besides," he said, "who knows more about me than me anyway?" So I started it off for him, and then throughout the year, he would type in a little bit.
All the while feeling his own mortality closing in with more frequent visits to the hospital.
There's no better way to show a love for somebody than to prepare for your own death, I guess. You know, go and plan your funeral. Take the burden, take the worst time of their entire life and try to ease that. And what a show of love I believe that is, because he did that.
Morris was a gentleman with a giant heart.
Morris died in his sleep 2 weeks ago at home with his wife and their 5 dogs. For those left behind, Kelly, their friends and family, there was nothing left to do but grieve.
Death is not easy. It's not easy to talk about. And one thing that Morris did, because he was so selfless, was plan everything, because he didn't want Kelly to have to deal with anything. Every key to the quad, every cabin key, every password was talked about. There's nothing she had to do. I mean, I know Kelly and Morris were looking for a miracle, and that miracle was, we hoped that the tumor would poof and be gone away. But isn't this the miracle? isn't the miracle that she found true love with such a selfless man who did everything for her in life and death.
Now Kelly still keeps Morris close, his ashes in a locket around her neck.
Not one thing was left unsaid.
No.
There's no regrets at all. You know, we were happy. He said everything that he needed to say to me. I said everything I needed to say to him. Some people have, you know, oh, I wish I'd have said this, or I wish I'd have said that, and that kind of thing. But we didn't have that.
Wow, I don't know whether or not to be sad or happy at the end of that story.
I know, I feel the same way. It's such an unusual situation that you've told us about, and his strength was obvious to take it on when he was facing death like that.
Oh, imagine, yeah, I can't even imagine. And you know, most people don't even want to think about doing up their will, let alone writing an obituary and planning every part of their funeral. So yeah, it was a pretty powerful story, I thought.
It was indeed. Thank you.
Thanks.
Her chilling confession about killing 8 elderly residents of a nursing home has people asking a lot of questions. We'll have the latest on Elizabeth Wetlaufer in about 3 minutes. Welcome back to Here and Now. The recorded confession made by former nurse Elizabeth Wetlaufer continues to shock Canadians. Wetlaufer murdered 8 elderly patients in southwestern Ontario and is now awaiting sentencing after pleading guilty yesterday to the killings. Havard Gould reports.
There's a difference between right and wrong.
Her calm is chilling. In a small room for more than 2 hours, Elizabeth Wetlaufer matter-of-factly described the murders that made her one of Canada's worst serial killers.
What time of the day do you think it was when you had injected him?
When I injected him, it was afternoon. I think it was 4:30, 5:30.
She had already provided a handwritten confession listing the people she had killed, 8 in all, and at the end of that document, several more listed under the heading, People Who Didn't Die. Wetlaufer worked at several facilities in southwestern Ontario, angry at patients, her life, struggling with her mental health and addictions. But, she said, she had a sense she was being directed to kill.
Part of me had started to believe that it was the devil, and part of me thought it might be God.
Wedloffer told police she tried to fight her urges, vowed to stop killing, but the feelings, what she called a red surging, came back.
Surging and then the laughter afterwards, which was really, it was like a cackling from the pit of hell, if that makes sense.
Wedloffer will be sentenced in a few weeks. Her confession, recorded last year, included apologies.
If you could say something to them, what would you say?
What can you say to them that would matter? I'm sorry isn't enough. I should have gotten help sooner.
But as she discussed the killings, she often seemed to be disconnected from the horrifying nature of her behavior, saying she wanted to go home and have a good night's sleep. Yet she also said she knew people would think of her as a monster. Howard Gould, CBC News, Toronto.
The weather update is brought to you by Belltown Hearing Service St. John's, helping the world hear better.
All right, so we're going to get to the weather in just a moment, but first of all, last evening you may remember we showed you two completely adorable baby moose.
La.
Yes.
And here's the reveal. There they are with Mom.
Yeah, these shots were taken by Carmel Conway last night on Ferndale Drive in Airport Heights.
They are so cute.
They look so young.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Mama was nearby and we got to see that that wasn't photoshopped, it's real.
Yeah, Mom's got quite a handful on her hands looking after those two little ones running around.
Yeah, hopefully they just stick in the woods, away from the road. So gardeners don't like dandelions, but I saw this photo on Ryan's Facebook page and just thought it was beautiful. Just a dandelion heaven in Searston. This is in the Conroy Valley. So I just want to thank Judy Warren for sending this in, and Harrison Bragg took the photo. So let's start with seeing how we compare to the rest of the country temperature-wise. These are current temperatures, 15 degrees in St. John's right now, 17 in Vancouver, fairly close on either side of the country, and nice and warm as you go in the interior, 34 in Winnipeg right now. Hot, hot, hot. So looking closer to home, you can see lots of double-digit temperatures in Atlantic Canada, even some in the 20s. Halifax, 20 degrees right now. Happy Valley Goose Bay, 12 degrees. So this is how conditions are looking. You can see some wet weather that's moving in and lots of cloud cover that's settling in over the island and Labrador as well, but we also have some clear patches that's letting the sun peek through too this evening. Tomorrow, starting off your day with some showers along the northern peninsula, the tip of the northern peninsula there, and in Corner Brook, showers to start the day, and some drizzle in St. John's with some fog and fairly cloudy conditions in Labrador City. So throughout the day, it's going to be mostly cloudy on the island, but there will be this scattered shower coming through as well. You can see that action there on the west coast near Corner Brook and southeastern Labrador. And as we go into Saturday evening, more wet weather will be moving in, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. So Saturday, it's not the greatest. It's certainly not as nice as today. 12 degrees expected as the high in St. John's tomorrow, with some cloudy skies and a chance of some showers throughout the day, and chance of showers right across the island. Temperatures in the low to mid double digits, and up in Labrador, very cool along the coast. Cartwright, 4 degrees with some showers, and mostly cloudy skies in Lab City and 13 degrees. So Saturday night, you can see the wet weather moving on through, and then moving off as we get into Sunday morning. Lots of cloud though, you can see, so still lots of shower action happening there. Sunday afternoon, some showers there on the west coast, and mostly cloudy skies and some sunny spots in Labrador. And then Sunday evening, you can see more heavy showers that will be moving in along the Avalon Peninsula there and along the northern peninsula. So Sunday afternoon, 10 degrees in St. John's, and a chance of showers, 10 degrees in central as well, and western Newfoundland, some showers there, 12 degrees, but lovely in Lab West for sure. 17 degrees and a mix of sun and cloud, and 13 in eastern Labrador. So Sunday moving into Monday morning when we start our work week once again. You can see the showers there along the coastline of the island, but Labrador is looking pretty nice there. Mostly cloudy skies on a Monday with a chance of showers. 6 degrees in St. John's. Chance of showers in central Newfoundland as well, 11 degrees, but another lovely, lovely day in Labrador. 19 degrees on Monday afternoon with a mix of sun and cloud in Lab City. So taking a look at the rest of the week, you can see the sunshine is going to be coming back. A little bit of cloud, but nice warm temperatures in central Newfoundland. 18 degrees on Tuesday, 21 on Thursday, and sunny skies as well on western Newfoundland, and some nice warm temperatures for the week next week. And looking pretty good in Labrador as well. 18 degrees on Monday with a mix of sun and cloud, and some nice warm temperatures as you end off the work week there. So a little bit later, I'll have our viewer picture of the day.
Well, let's meet our young athlete of the day. This is Sebastian St. Croix. He's 3 years old, comes from Bay Roberts.
He enjoys playing ball hockey with his friends and teammates in the Ascension Astros Ball Hockey League.
Yeah, congratulations, Sebastian, on being chosen as our young athlete of the day.
The message is clear. Criticize the president, lose your job.
Comedian Kathy Griffin held a news conference today repeating an earlier apology for images that show her holding the likeness of Donald Trump's bloody severed head. Her career is in tatters. CNN fired Griffin from her New Year's Eve co-host job, and she has had at least 4 shows canceled.
Yeah, her lawyer says she's even received death threats. Griffin repeated her claim that the video was a parody, a comeback to Mark Trump's remarks last summer that a member of the media had blood pouring out of parts of her body. Welcome back to Here and Now and to national news. Convicted killer Carla Homolka will no longer be allowed to volunteer at a private school in Montreal. The school changed its policy and will no longer accept people with criminal records as volunteers. The church that operates the school says it's responding to the concerns of parents and community members. Homolka and her ex-husband Paul Bernardo were convicted in the deaths of Ontario schoolgirls Kristen French and Leslie Mahaffey in the 1990s.
Saskatoon's police chief is apologizing to a young Indigenous woman who was refused a breast pump while she was in custody. The Public Complaints Commission ruled that there was neglect of duty when the mother was held for 3 days in pain and unable to feed her son. Bonnie Allen has the details.
It was a painful and humiliating experience for Lillian Desjardins, but now some vindication, an apology from Saskatoon police. The incident happened last February. Just 21 at the time, the Indigenous woman called police during a domestic dispute. She and her partner were both arrested. Desjardins was held in custody for 75 hours, stretching over a weekend. The young mother had been diligent about breastfeeding her 4.5-month-old son. Several times, she asked officers for a breast pump. She wanted to relieve the pain. Her engorged breasts were leaking, but she also wanted to get milk to her son, who was born prematurely. She was denied. The Saskatchewan Public Complaints Commission has ruled it was neglect of duty and that it's regrettable Desjardins experienced unnecessary discomfort, lack of hygiene, and possible humiliation. The commission does not recommend disciplinary action.
We definitely did drop the ball on this. I apologize for it. We've put everything in place that we can, I think, to ensure that it won't happen again.
Chief Clive Wayhill says officers weren't being malicious, but did mishandle her case. Desjardins appreciates the apology. She's ready to move on with her life and asked her lawyer to speak on her behalf.
This has been a really difficult year in her life. She's a little disappointed that no specific fault needing disciplinary action was found, but she's happy that there have been some changes made.
Those changes include a female commissioner stationed in the detention unit 24/7 to check on female detainees every 10 minutes. Also, money on hand to buy medical equipment, such as a breast pump, in future cases. Bonnie Allen, CBC News, Regina.
Well, leaders around the world are expressing dismay with Donald Trump's decision to leave the Paris Accord, even though it was expected.
From our point of view, is disappointing, but not at all surprising. It was entirely as expected and as predicted and as promised by him.
I spoke to President Trump again last night. I made it clear that the UK would have wanted the United States to stay within the Paris Agreement and that we continue to support the Paris Agreement.
There is no reverse gear to the energy transition. There is no backsliding on the Paris Agreement.
Well, there was an emotional farewell on the International Space Station with 2 crew members returning to Earth. A Russian cosmonaut and a French astronaut said goodbye to one of their NASA colleagues before closing the hatch and getting into the capsule that brought them home. The pair was on board the space station for 196 days. They landed safely in Kazakhstan. People in this province got a chance to see the Broadway musical Come From Away when it played in Gander. Now other parts of the country are getting that opportunity.
Yeah, the show is making several Canadian stops as part of its North American tour starting next year, including Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, and Ottawa. And there'll also be a full-time return to Toronto next February. And no word on any Newfoundland dates, but I did ask, and they did say to stay tuned. Not all the dates and places have been mentioned, so
a lot of
fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back, everyone. Well, a 12-year-old from Fresno, California has won the Scribs National Spelling Bee in the United States.
Cain.
She knows what it means.
M-A-R-O-C-A-I-N, marathon.
That is correct.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you see the winning word there, marocane, and it refers to a dress fabric. You knew that, Debbie, didn't you?
I did not.
The winner gets a $40,000 prize, plus, of course, the bragging rights.
Yeah, that's excellent. I don't play enough Scrabble, obviously. Well, an upcoming benefit concert in Toronto will have two familiar faces pop on a toque and crack open a strange brew.
Hey, good day. Welcome to the Great White North. Go.
Oh yeah, that's Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. They're going to reprise their famous roles as Bob and Doug McKenzie in July. The concert will also feature several other Canadian comedy heavyweights, Dan Aykroyd, Catherine O'Hara, Eugene Levy, Martin Short, as well as all the kids in the hall.
Oh, that should be fun. The proceeds will help Dave Thomas's nephew, Jake, who suffered a spinal cord injury in January that left him paralyzed from the waist down.
Well, it's time now to take a look at some of the people, the heavyweights, celebrating birthdays and anniversaries this week.
Happy 90th birthday to Winnie Stratton from Calvert, who is celebrating today. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Albert and Franny Harris of Gander. Pat and Bill Noonan are also celebrating their golden anniversary. Happy birthday to Muriel Daw of Lewisport, who celebrated her 90th on May 24th. Happy 66th wedding anniversary to Roy and Mabel Fudge, who celebrated their special day on May 24th.
Happy birthday to Viola Major on the left with her childhood best friend Alma, who will be turning 90 years old. Best wishes to Bernadette Kenny from Muse, who is going to be turning 90 as well. Happy 64th anniversary to Stuart and Cindy Button of Mount Pearl. Happy birthday to the Parrots in St. John's. Jim, who's a former CBCer, turns 94 on, and Ina, who is 91. Happy 55th wedding anniversary to Jim and Sandra Tolk of St. John's.
Congratulations to Patrick and Mary Costigan on their golden anniversary. Cal and Marie Tucker of Fort Amherst will celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary tomorrow. Minnie and William Cofield of St. John's celebrated their 55th anniversary yesterday. Congratulations, and as you can see, they had an unexpected visitor at their wedding reception. Happy birthday to Vera Barber of Wesleyville, who celebrated yesterday. Happy 55th anniversary to Fred and Betty Hatcher.
Congratulations to Bob and Emily Bailey in Southlands, who will celebrate their 58th wedding anniversary this coming Monday. Best wishes to Duncan and Louise Spicer on their 60th anniversary. Happy 90th birthday to Calvin Blandford of Twillingate, who celebrated this week. Happy 93rd birthday to Laura Burry in Paradise. Her big day is tomorrow. It was a 95th birthday on the 31st for Reverend Wesley Oak of Gander. He is a World War II veteran and a member of the 166th Newfoundland Regiment.
Happy birthday to Mildred Kennedy in Clark's Beach, who will be celebrating her 91st birthday June 12th. Happy birthday wishes to Doris Squires, who is celebrating her 93rd birthday this Monday. Doris is from Brownsdale and is now living in Carbonear. Congratulations to Walter and Eileen LeDrew of Traytown, who celebrated their 50th anniversary May 27th. Birthday greetings to Rebecca Wells in Marystown, who turned 93 years old yesterday. Jenny Price of Grand Bank was also celebrating her birthday yesterday. She was 94 years old.
Douglas and Olive Troop of Mount Moriah Bay of Islands will enjoy a special day tomorrow. It's their 56th anniversary. Congratulations as well to Clyde and Dorothy Best of Chamberlains, who celebrated 61 years of marriage yesterday. Happy 56th wedding anniversary to Pierce and Prudence Nicholas of Lewisport. They celebrated on May 30th.
And congratulations once again to everyone who is celebrating. Quick recap of your weather forecast. This is how tomorrow is looking for the province. 12 degrees in St. John's tomorrow with a chance of showers throughout the day, but mainly cloudy skies. Double-digit temperatures right across the island. Grand Falls, Windsor, 14 degrees. Chance of showers on the west coast as well, 13 degrees in Corner Brook. Lab City is going to be lovely tomorrow. Mostly cloudy skies and 13 degrees as the high there. So let's have a look at our viewer picture of the day, shall we? This is just
gorgeous.
Beautiful. Found this on Ryan Snoddon's Facebook page. This was sent to us by Gary Wiseman, and just a beautiful sunrise there in Lethbridge.
Oh, see, and that's the sort of weather that you want to start getting this time of the year.
Absolutely.
He says this was Meetin Pond, Meetin, M-E-E-T-I-N pond, but I
As I guess
I
it's like
Googled it, I couldn't find it, so.
Probably it's a nickname.
Maybe a nickname, I don't
the
know.
pond
but-
where you meet up with other people. You know, it's the meeting pond.
I wouldn't mind meeting up there, especially on a day like that.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's our program for tonight. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next Monday.
Enjoy.